Hello, this is David Earler. Today, I'd like to go over the things that you would learn on your first day or days of class. First thing that when you come into class, you have to learn first to bow into class and go into what we call chumbi stance. All right. So when you come into class, say I just walked into class. Okay, I'm at the door. I turn to the flags. I bow. So my head is below my heart. Then I turn to the instructor. If there's an instructor in class, I bow to the instructor and then wait. If he's the one in class, he's the one in charge. So it's up to him on whether he will allow you to come into class or not. So if he motions or says come in, then you walk on into class, and class is then going to be starting soon after that. Okay, so the first thing that happens is that everybody gets ready for class and they line up. Okay. You should stand in chumbi, which means fists together, about belt level, not too close, not too far apart, but right about, a couple inches apart where it's nice and comfortable for you. Okay? Then he's going to give the command for attention, bow, to get the class started. Okay? And it's going to be chiriet, kunye. Kunye is the word for bow. And then back to chumbi. And then at this time, he's going to go on and start the class and do exercises and so forth. Okay, but today, I want to go over a couple of the stances and a few blocks. The first stance that you're going to learn is called front stance or forward balance. Okay, you're going to bend your front knee and step back, shoulder width apart. Front knee is bent, so about 70% of your weight is on your front leg. Okay, back leg, you don't want your toes to be perfectly forward, but you also don't want your toes to be out to the side too much. Okay, so you're looking at maybe 45-degree angle. No, that would be 15-degree angle. Okay, about a 15-degree angle. Now your front foot, okay, your knee should be directly over your ankle. So when you look down, you should see just your toes, maybe just your big toe. Okay, that lets you know that your front knee is bent far enough. Okay, you don't want to be like this because you don't want to show that you're lazy in class. You want to be like this. Okay. All right. Also, not too far apart. Okay, because even though you look like you're steadier, you're still can be knocked off balance really easy. Somebody hits you right here, and you fall over. So if you notice this line that goes down through the middle of me, okay, I'm just a little bit to one side and just a little bit to one side in the back. Rear leg is locked, front knee is bent. This is front stance or forward balance. They may call it forward stance, other things, but that's basically what it's called. Okay. Now, they call it Deodora for turning in place. Now, the way I like to do it is step across, step back, and then turn your whole body. Okay? So if you're facing in the opposite direction, exactly in the same spot that you were in facing in that direction, then you did your turn correctly. Okay? So you should always bring your front foot across, the back foot open. Okay? Now, there are other instructors that teach this different, where you end up not being in the same place that you started. But he expects the entire class to turn this way, so everybody moves in that one direction. So it would be just turn. You see where that line went? I'm facing this way. That line is no longer in the middle of my body. Some instructors want to do this way. I personally don't. And I think that doing it this way is not only saving time and space, but you're going to be exactly in the same spot that you were going in this direction if you need to turn around and go back in the other direction. Okay, this works great when you have a crowded class. You know, if you're in a small room and you got 25, 30 students and there's not much room between you, this is the best way to turn. Now let's go on to back stance or fighting stance in some cases. Well, it's in L shape. Okay, so it like this. So you're going to put your front foot forward on the line, toes slightly in for comfortability. Okay, your back foot is going to be, see the line? It goes from the front to my heel, all in one line. This foot's facing this way, this foot's facing this way. Now this weight of your body is more on the back leg, so you can lift your front leg easily. Now, you don't want your whole body facing this way, and you don't want your whole body facing that way. Okay? You want to be off to like an angle, about 15 degrees. So you're side facing your opponent. Not full facing, side facing. The side of your body is facing your opponent. Okay. So now we've gone through chumbi, attention, bow, front stance, back stance. Okay, the next stance that everybody must learn is middle stance or horse riding stance. This is going to be 50-50, feet evenly apart, about shoulder and half in width. Okay, notice where this line comes about straight up the center of my body. From here, you can do many things, whether it be blocking, punching, and defending from here. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. All right, now that we've gone over this stance, it's got to feel like you're sitting on a horse. Okay, most of your weight is 50-50 over both legs. Okay, now let's learn the punch. Okay. Now, I know that in some cultures a really, really long time ago, they used to teach girls, put their thumb on the inside and curl your hand over it. That is wrong. Anybody who ever teaches you how to punch like that, it's because they want you to break your thumb and never punch them again. Okay, now let's do it correctly. You curl your fingers. Your thumb curls underneath the first two fingers. Okay? To make a correct fist. Now, with this fist, to learn how to punch with it, we're going to take it so your palm is facing up, put it back here by your hip. Go straight out. Now, when you're going straight out, try to make it so your arm brushes up against your body and then turns over at the end. Okay? Now pull back exactly the same way. pull over toward the end. Now, we're going to use kind of like what a seesaw does. One side goes down, one side goes up. But we're going to use it in reaction force. Reaction force means that you've got to do something in the opposite to cause the other part of your body to go the opposite of that. So if you're pulling, you're pushing, same time. Now, when it comes to a punch, you want to aim toward the middle of your body, and we're going to pull back. At the same time this hand comes back, this one is coming out, and they should both turn over at the end. Now, that is a regular martial art karate punch. Okay, we can do it a little faster, a little faster, a little faster. And there you go. Now you have the basic karate punch. From there, you should be able to do it in horse stance, punch, punch, punch. From bag stance, we're going to do it slightly different. Where the hand is at, you throw your first punch. Where this hand is at, you're going to step out to throw your second punch. Now I'm in front stance. The punch is called obverse or reverse punch. I think I got that wrong the first one. This is reverse punch. This would be obverse punch. Same hand, same foot. Reverse hand. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Okay? Coming back. Now you know how the punches is done. Okay? Remember, today we're going all just basics. Now, the next thing I like to teach is low block. Now, for the little kids, I like to say, we're going to take something from your ear, throw it on the floor. Go back and do this again. Now, the next time you do it, when you put your hand down over your knee, close your fist. Okay? From here to there. From here to there. Okay? Now the other hand, it has to help the power of this hand. So we're going to put that hand underneath it, sometimes crossing it. So you're going to go from here to there and pull the other hand back to your hip at the same time. Okay? So fold, this is the fold, this is the block. From here to here. From here to here. That's low block. Same thing goes for the other side. Fold, block. Fold, block. Now notice my hand is relaxed here and tight here. Okay? For learning how to do this, pretty much keep your hands closed. So from here to here, hands are closed. Okay? So that's your low block. Next block I like to teach is high block. High block is done with your arms crossed, and your top hand is the one that goes up. Now you also should notice there's an angle here. You don't want it straight across, and you don't want it straight up either. You want it a nice angle here, because this is where you're going to have the most strength. When you look up at your fist, you should only see your bottom thumb. Okay? If it's like this and you can see all your fingers, you're doing something wrong. You don't want to do it that way. That makes this part of the arm weak. So out, you should just see your thumb. All right. Now the other hand goes to the hip. At the same time, you come up. Okay? So this is high block. Same thing goes with the other side. High block. Notice the angle of your top hand, your bottom hand goes to your hip. just like that. Okay, now we've gone over low block and high block. Now the next thing I like to teach is mid block. Now this is where you just cross your arms just like if you were standing there and you were bored to somebody. But I want you to close your hands just a little bit. The hand on the bottom is the one that does the block. So the hand on the top will go to your hip. So boom, like making a muscle. Okay? This hand should not be too high because then this part of your body is not blocked. And it should not be too low because this part of your body is not blocked. So it should be right about there. Okay? Not too far out because you don't need to block airspace. You just need to block your own body. So this should stop right about your shoulder. Okay? Now the other hand, well, just like with the other blocks, goes to your hip. Okay? Same thing goes for the other side, but the blocking hand on top. Okay? Blocking hand on top. Oh, underneath. Sorry. Thinking about something else. So blocking hand on the bottom. I'm sorry about the first one. Okay. So like I said before, blocking hand on the bottom. Blocking hand on the bottom. Now with your upper body, to add just a little bit more power to it, you want your upper body go slightly away. See how my upper body's turning slightly? Slightly away. You're not full facing and you're not half facing. You're just a little bit. So when you do your block, this helps to add power to it. Okay? So there's your first 3 blocks and your first 3 or 4 stances, and bow into class, bow into class. As of right now, I'm going to end this video at this time. So let's bow out. Chariot, kunye. Thank you.